Now we're on to Newcomer of the Year.
Yes, Newcomer of the Year. Now this
Curly
could be,
W.
This could be anybody.
Also a good choice.
Could be anybody.
I only have one person on my list.
Actually, same here.
Yeah, I only have one human on my list.
And my number 3 human. So my human is on number 3.
Yeah.
And my number 3 newcomer of the year is Lupe Fiasco.
Oh. That's a good one.
Because look, he
funny.
showed up with the Daigo thing, and it was like a stunt or whatever. But look, he really loves the fighting game community. His heart is actually in it. And it's not just like one of those, like, he's even said, like, look, when I'm at a fighting game event, please let me watch the event, because I am Lupe, the fighting game fan.
Yeah.
And the fact that he shouted Zhu out at a concert.
Yeah, he brought, like...
And he bought, like, the
Tupperware.
Hedora
and
Tupperware.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody knows who Tupperware is.
Right. And he
Gonna take up 80% of Lupe Fiasco's concert like that?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I know. And like,
That's great.
dude, he's like your life. Like,
Yeah.
he was one of you, like, the people that you wanted to meet.
That's like,
and, like
bucket list meeting a person, and that
there's a
happened
picture
only.
of Lupe, like, draped on Steve.
Yeah, like one of his grandma cardigans. He's like wearing
Yeah.
Lupe.
So honestly, shout outs to him. And look, I know I met him, but I didn't want to, like, I don't know his music, right?
Oh.
Like, I feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't want
You
to be
definitely
that
knew
guy
who you
going.
were before you knew who he was.
I didn't want to go up to him and be like, "Yo, Lupe, I'm your," you know. I was just like,
Yeah.
"No, that's disingenuous." So. But no,
Yeah, I
shout
was
out to
just like,
him.
hey, how's it
And
going?
you know,
He was
obviously,
like,
to pull a Tasty Steve tie thing, you know, also shout outs to Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods as
yeah.
well. So.
So I have actually 3 people.
Okay.
Do we have the? You want me to? I can name my 3 right now
I mean, is it...
because I felt like everybody else only had one person, but I can just start
Yeah.
my 3. All right, never
However
mind.
you want to order
All
it,
right,
man.
Yeah, however you wanna do
So
it.
so my
It's top any number. Go for
Right,
it.
uh-huh.
There's no
my
rules.
number 3 is Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Because like I did not like I follow wrestling very loosely. I've only just recently gotten to like the New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff, and the fact that I saw him at CEO and he came up to me, he was like, "Hey man, I'm a big fan of yours," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. He
Like,
did the same
I was
thing to
like,
me.
me? And he was just like, "Yeah man, like I watch you guys every Wednesday." I was like, "Every Wednesday?"
Yeah. Dude.
This is so cool, you know.
He is so
like,
cool.
and then like, so it would be different if he was just like, "Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of yours." Not really, but we went out to eat with him later.
That's right, yeah.
And the entire time he was like, "Look, man, I'm trying to get good at Street Fighter." Like, so and he didn't say anything other than, "What am I doing wrong, Justin? What do you think I'm doing
Yeah.
wrong?" I'm like, "Well, this guy stop being a fanboy." Oh my God, that's Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Oh
Dude.
man, this is pretty
Dude,
cool.
when he played against Xavier Woods,
That was so good.
It was, and he's definitely way better.
Oh,
than
yeah,
Xavier
yeah,
was. But he did a superb job at not making that super obvious.
It's almost like it's almost like
he did it so well.
But look, wait. It's almost like his job is to make fights look close.
I mean, I
for,
know.
like to sell fights for a living.
But it's not. But it's not easy.
You're
to
such
like,
a
do
hater.
that
Are you
in
saying
the game.
wrestling isn't real? I will jab you in the throat.
I can't
But
believe.
you-
I can't believe how good of a job he did at selling. Yeah.
I mean, like outside of the game, I get it, but like in a game, it's not easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely
It's
not.
not.
easy.
He did a great
And
job.
like the first thing he said to me afterward was like, he was like, "That wasn't that obvious, was it?" And I was like, "No,
yeah. No, Kenny is legit good. Yeah.
No, he's actually
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And he trained with LPN and everything.
Yeah.
That's not even fair,
Kenny
dude.
is super good. Yeah, my number 3 is the only person on my list, which is John Taguchi.
Mhm.
I don't know that
Okay.
kid. First of all, he's super talented Rashid player. He's really fun to watch. He's adorable, dude. He's an adorable little kid. If Red Bull Japan
He's
is
so
not
cute, dude. Yeah.
signing that kid and slapping logos all over his entire body, they are morons. Because he
Entire
looks
body.
like a Japanese like J-pop star or something.
No,
little
they
kid.
said he's like a Japanese Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah,
right?
he's,
I see
dude.
that.
He's just put a bunch of logos and hoodies and jackets and whatever on that kid.
It's very sellable.
And put him in front of stuff and have him do the little thing that he does,
Yeah.
you know, and like boom, he'll make you
The
a
crank up is so
he'll
good.
Yeah,
make you $1
yeah,
billion.
yeah.
The US FGC loves this kid. He's super fun to watch.
Sell him in Japan, dude. He's like such a good
That's a
sellable
J-pop
person.
star. He's a little,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
put him in front of like 1,000 little girls,
I'm totally
and
with you.
they're just gonna be like, oh my god, this kid is adorable. I like Street Fighter now. It's like the easiest
Right.
thing to do.
I
Like,
definitely agree.
they should be he should look like a NASCAR driver, like head to toe in Red Bull Japan merchandise. That kid is worth his weight, like 5 times his weight in gold. Like just put a bunch of merchandise.
Really
He's
gold?
like this tall. He's just a little fella. Just put a bunch of stuff on him.
Yeah, no. 5 times his weight in gold isn't as much.
$20 of gold.
Yeah. Newcomer of the year, John Takuchi.
My newcomer of the year's number 3 is also my only human, and it's actually Punk.
Oh yeah, good choice.
Okay, yeah.
So he was he played in Street Fighter 4, although Takeuchi did as well.
Yeah, I did.
But like I remember the first time I saw him in SF5, and he like was doing all right. It was like on a stream, or maybe he was like playing online or something. And I played him online just randomly, like ranked a couple times, and I thought like he seems like all right, like he's okay.
Yeah.
And then the next time I saw him, it was at Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
And he was like this ridiculous play. In like 6 months, he was like, yeah, to like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you are like one of the best players in the world.
Right.
And then the next major he went to, was it NEC that just happened?
Yeah.
He won.
Yeah.
Like the progression from like, okay, kind of gimmicky, but all right, to like, wow, you are one of the best players in the country. All of a sudden. That was like 8 or 9 months. That's so impressive.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's like 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Good choice.
my number 2 is, as I said, I'm out of humans now.
Yeah, me too.
My number 2, although, we've often talked about external validation and we don't need it or whatever like that, but my number 2 is ESPN. Welcome to the fighting game community. Hope you enjoy your stay and hope you continue to get people to go, what is this game garbage on my TV? And then like 5 minutes later tweet like, oh my god, this is so captivating, I can't stop watching it. So let's hope we have some long futures with ESPN, because you know what? Regardless of whether or not we need sports validation, which I don't think we do, they're a very powerhouse in the entertainment industry, and that being good with them is just not a problem. So,
Yeah, more eyes on Street Fighter or any fighting game, which is the hope for next year,
For sure.
is always good.
Yep.
I will say my number 2. Well, it already was. It was Ambo Punk. Watching, watching him like climb, especially apparently he was around for Street Fighter 4, just didn't do as well. Jesus.
People 100% heard that.
Gross.
Yeah, he is like fighting with the toilet in there. Anyways, yeah, like same thing David said, man. Watching him come up, and just do so well, and then like right after maintain that by winning tournaments after it. Like hearing people talk about him in passing, about how he plays and the things that he does, like it's crazy for me to see that this kid has come so far in such a short amount of time. Give him a lot of props for just being able to stay relevant, especially in a game like Street Fighter 5, where everybody's looking at these kind of, these veteran players like Justin and Eduardo and, Champ and all these other players to be that much better, and for him to come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat Justin Wong, basically
In the Karen Mirror?
Yeah, in the Karen Mirror, and like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Either way, he is my number 2. Yes.
All right. My number 2, also not a human being. I know that, what is this clip?
Oh, that's David coughing and hacking. So,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Can you actually hear it?
I could probably.
Jesus.
Alright, you gotta hear it
Watching
again.
him,
It's pretty gross.
like climb, especially. Apparently, he was around for Street Fighter 4, just didn't. Do
Oh yeah,
as
you
well.
can hear that for sure.
Ugh.
On my face.
Okay, you can hear that. For sure.
How's it going, everybody?
All right.
All right, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, my number
Everything's
2
fine.
on my list, also not a human being, is Daigo and Momochi's stream.
Ah, yes.
So
yes.
Momochi has started
Okay.
streaming a ton, him and Choco, and they've streamed a ton of different things. It's been super awesome. They did Resident Evil VR. They have a super entertaining stream, and I wanted to put him on there just because I think that it's really awesome that more foreign players are streaming and more interactive with their stream. But the real winner here is Daigo's stream. Super entertaining stream. Big props to Giuna for doing such an awesome job translating and making that happen. Everybody who helped make Daigo's stream happen, they are the best. Like, that is such an entertaining stream. The drunk stream that they just did was so good. Daigo was out there. He was super hammered watching these sets. It was really entertaining. Yeah, I always watch Beast TV. I think it's a super awesome stream every time I check it out. And everybody involved with putting that thing together, big thanks to them again. And it's
Then
awesome.
that means Sejam did thank me, because I did help a little.
Well, there you go.
Illuminati status. Okay.
There you go.
No,
All
I
right.
did nothing.
I might be
basically
too sick to
did
get that
nothing,
joke.
so.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, nobody knows. So.
Newcomer of the year for David, number 2.
I remember I drank with Daigo one time. This is like SCR, probably 2011 or something like that. And we were at a KBBQ place afterward, And, we were getting, like, beers, and I got, like, a beer, and other people got, like, a beer. And he got, like, one of those big beers that you can drink.
Yeah.
Like the big ones.
Schooner?
Like the 750 ml?
Yeah.
Like the big one, right?
Yeah.
And I think he had, like, 5 or 6 of those bottles.
Jesus.
Like, just piled up in front of him.
Was this at the KBBQ that we went to that
afterward.
one time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just really impressed, That's not easy to do.
Yeah, he is a beast.
He can really put him back.
Yeah, he is.
That's
He's
what
a
I
pro.
heard.
Well,
They
don't
can really do
don't
that.
forget there was the post Evo where this was a long time ago where him and Combo Fiend after Evo had to be wheeled back to their rooms in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Good old days.
That's right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
My second place newcomer of the year is Killer Instinct.
Mm.
Yeah,
Good choice.
Since
Yeah.
Killer Instinct's initial launch in March, I've been really impressed with it. It's a really good game. Like I said, I almost had it in my top 3. I probably should have had it at 3rd place rather than making a joke at Street Fighter V's expense. But in any case, yeah, I really like it. I know that they put a lot of time into it. There's obviously a lot of care that goes into it. So yeah, I look for good things from it for its 2nd year of release.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's that whole newcomer joke, right? That everyone's like, oh, they're not really newcomers.
Yeah.
So my number one kind of falls in that vein. Look, she's been around in the scene before a long time ago, right? And she never really made much of an impact. People really didn't notice her that much. But just this past year, I feel like she's really come into her own. Now everybody knows about her. And strangely enough, nobody likes her now, and that is Rainbow Mika. So our Mika is my newcomer of the year because everybody was like, oh, Rainbow Mika, I can't wait to play her because she's my favorite character. You never played Rainbow Mika. You did not. Nobody knew anything about
in North America who played
I was
that
one of those
character.
Yeah, it was like you,
That's me.
and Crack Prawn. That was like it, right?
And Olaf. Those
Yeah,
are like the only people
like really
I ever met.
only Mika people. So everybody who's like, "Oh man, I'm so happy Mika's back," I'm like, "Shut up, dude!
Yeah,
You
come
have
on.
never touched
Come on.
our Mika in your life."
Don't even
But,
know who
come on.
she is.
Yeah, everybody hates her now though. So
All right.
that is my
Stevie boy.
newcomer of the year.
So, my number 1 newcomer is Lupe Fiasco.
Ah,
Obviously, because like that like completed the circle for me because I was like a huge fan of his music. He's also from the Midwest, and now he already played video games, and I was a big fan anyway. He likes Metal Gear. He likes Zone Enders. We talk about anime and stuff like that, and then now he's playing Street Fighter and he's part of the fighting game community, and that officially makes him like the homie, because like I could just be like, yo, what's up? We have a multitude of things to talk about. On top of that, he still plays games and he interacts with a lot of the players in the community regardless, you know?
You have his personal phone number, Mr.
I'm
Kiss?
not gonna reveal that. Man, you can't.
Everybody
That's
knows
what
the
it
answer.
was.
Everybody knows the answer is yes.
Yeah. Continue for
I've been driving and I'm like talking to Steve and I ask him a question and then I'm like, he doesn't answer. I look over and he's like, oh, sorry, I was texting Lupe. What? I'm like,
You gotta spend all your concentration on that.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
want to send a dumb tweet. I mean, a dumb like message.
That's like
Yeah.
writing an email to your professor, right? Like
Yeah,
you
I
spend
know.
like half an hour on it. Okay, maybe I should put the comma here or the comma there. I don't know where to put the comma.
Especially if it's an English professor.
Oh my god! But yeah.
One time he came out to my, because every time I pick Steve up, I give him a 30-minute heads up,
Oh,
and
here
he's
we go.
always 10 minutes late to come out. It's crazy. It's almost like I'm driving 30 minutes out of my way to pick him up, and he's still not there on time. Anyway, one time he came out like 5 minutes late, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, oh yeah, I was playing Lupe online, so like, we were just playing some games, and so yeah, whatever, I was finishing up our set, and I was like, you play Lupe online in Street Fighter all the time? He's like, yeah, just whatever, once or 2 weeks.
I
was like, what?
I just have to add that I just think it's the coolest thing for you. Like seriously, like I picture like certain artists that like if I ever became friends with or like famous people, I would just be like, this is the sickest thing. And like to have that actually happen, I think is
Yeah,
like
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I think that's
Pretty
one of
cool,
the
man.
sickest things in the world for me. So
Happy for you too.
My number 1 newcomer to the FGC is the Tekken Tour.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I think that was such a cool idea to have it even before the game ever released. To have everybody able to play the game that early and be at so many events and everything like that, and then have such a sick finals.
Yeah.
Like everybody watched King of the Iron Fist finals, and they're like, that was crazy.
even Evo was sick. We still had
Evo
we
was
had
super
two
sick. North American
North
finals was
American players in at Evo. That's
Top
on
8.
top of it. Changed like the outcome of everything.
America placed higher at Evo in Tekken than Japan did. There was the highest placing American
crazy.
was up there. Yeah, he was up there over a Japanese player.
I also
So-
I love the rule that you can
Relinquish.
That is so smart.
Although that made the last chance qualifiers last
They were
17
wild.
hours.
Yeah, I get it,
but
like,
still, that was amazing.
But still, it's
though.
just like such a hype idea.
Yeah.
Right.
To me, the Tekken Tour was super awesome. It was not a project that I personally was working on, but I was working alongside it like the whole year, and that was one of the big reasons that I wanted to go to Japan. Actually, was because the Tekken finals were happening, and I felt pretty attached to it. And I was like, I want to see the finals of this. Like I've seen it all year, and to me, it was such a cool event that I had to check it out. So yeah, I'm
that's
really
a
happy
good
about
pick.
it. So Tekken Tour is my number one newcomer.
Okay. My number one newcomer of the year is American Street Fighter.
That's a good choice.
It's nice having Americans play Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened before, but it's really nice now that there are tournaments that are held for Street Fighter in America, and that are entered into by American players.
Yeah,
They
That's
can be
great.
very possibly won
great.
by American players.
Yeah, that's great.
that was the big thing when I went to Japan. I couldn't believe how bad all the Street Fighter players were. I was like, man,
You know
these
what?
guys all suck at Street Fighter. I came home to where people are good at Street
You know
Fighter,
what?
and I was like, this is weird.
Justin's actually told me that.
Yeah.
He was well, they went to tournaments, and he was like, we only think they're super good because they only send their best players out all
of
the time.
course.
But they're like,
I was making mostly a joke about America winning Capcom Cup,
Oh,
but you
yeah,
know,
okay.
yeah. All right,
but,
James.
But,
Okay.
but still, from what I've heard, it's not like how it used to be, which is that like Japanese arcades would just have like random schmo who comes in from his day job and he's like this ridiculous player who you've never heard of.
It's certainly like that
Right.
for Tekken. I can tell you that.
But in,
Oh, yeah,
in Street
man.
Fighter 5, I don't think it's, from what I've heard, it's not as much like that as it has been in the past.
Okay. So,
Yep. All right.
Just ruined your joke. I apologize.
That's all right.
It's alright.
David. Oh, you
That
we
was
just
me.
finished that. Yes. Okay.
He's all flustered. We've officially pretty much passed all the main awards.
Right.
These
so
are
we're at
like
the random
There's only a
select
couple more.
awards.
Yeah, random select, and then after that, personal FGC resolutions for 2017.
Do you want to take a break before we do that, or do you want to just do it?
Let's just barrel
Let's just
through
do it
this.
because
Handle
you're
it.
about to die anyway.
And I'm
so
hungry.
Fine.
my
Hungry
number.
and
So
tired.
random select award is anything we just wanted to talk about that we didn't squeeze into the other
Correct.
ones, right?
Yeah.
So number 3, you brought it up already. There's no way that I would have believed that Marvel was going to be announced at Capcom Cup. No way,
yeah.
just no way. But the fact that it actually existed, that
Yeah.
because like everything in my mind is like, there's no way, and 2, there's no way they could show footage because even if it was an existing thing, Marvel, Disney only changed their plans just this past year, and I was
Yeah.
like, so the game must be like barely code. Like right now, Captain
Right.
America probably walks around like this, and
Yeah.
so. The fact that they even had anything to show blew my mind. The fact that the game existed blew my mind. Like, there was just nothing that I believed that would have ever happened. And so I just thought that was a cool thing. I just thought it was super
Soon
cool.
as I saw Disney like kill that little game they had with the toys, that
Oh,
Disney
yeah,
Infinite.
yeah, yeah.
Once I
Disney
saw that, and they're
Infinite,
like, yeah,
yeah.
they're disbanding, and I was like, we're getting Marvel 4.
Oh, yeah?
No, when I saw it, because they'll put it like this: either they're making a shit ton of money off of that, or they're gonna actually push something where they can already.
Make
put like
more
this.
money.
Exactly. If Marvel 3 had those characters in it, and it was all slated just to mix in with their Marvel movie
Yeah.
release, that's genius. One, because that's the
Right.
kind of cross promotion.
Like, I didn't know who Rocket Raccoon was before Marvel 3, to be honest. I've
See,
never heard
nobody
of
did. Nobody. I mean,
now
I knew
Rocket
who
Raccoon-
he
him. I
was.
put him on my radar.
Dude,
Yeah.
what's funny is that I made the joke just recently that, maybe the log trap is Groot. Right?
Oh, God,
And,
that's sick.
I made that joke, but I couldn't have made that joke for the first half of the first
Unless you
3
knew, yeah,
years of
that's
Marvel's
true, yeah.
existence until Guardians of the Galaxy
Yep.
came out, right? So yeah.
No, that's 100% true.
Okay. But that's
All
my
right,
number 3.
All right, what do you got?
I would say just the whole how far we've come from FGC to esports. I guess that transition coming in is a couple
All right,
of
I'm a-
things. Yeah,
a little too close.
Getting closer and closer, breathing this
I'm trying
stinky
to stay away.
germs.
I'm
Anyways,
not breathing this
Toxic
thing.
fumes.
Might be toxic. but-
Goddamn apple cores finally got
That's
to
what
this
happens,
end.
man.
That's
Like,
what
you're not
someone
supposed to
else
eat
joked
that
in
part of the apple,
Someone
dude.
joked in there that David ate too many apple cores.
God
Well,
damn.
maybe
Yeah.
I haven't had one recently. Maybe not enough.
Ooh.
Keep that kind of talk out of your mouth like them apple cores, you weirdo.
Last time I had an apple, you know what? I didn't eat the core. I threw it away. I was too full.
Now your body
your
now
body
has
is getting used to it. That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
you're
it
sick,
needs
dude.
the
I should have kept
poison.
it up.
It
I
needs
should
the
get that
poison.
point right.
Yeah.
It's like eating the innards, man. Anyways, sorry.
How far we've gotten.
How far we have come from just being FGC to FGC X esports global and corporate conglomerate. You know, that whole shebang that's coming with it. Not particularly a hot point for a lot of people, but I feel like it's only right to put that up there on one of the talking points because a lot of the stuff that's happening in fighting games right now, whether it comes to the sponsorships, Rick Fox and all these other big important names and companies, Red Bull being incorporated into the FGC stable, like you said, as part of one of the, like ESPN, all of these things happening did not happen 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They happen right now. Right now. And I feel like that's, as somebody who's been in the fighting game community for most of his life, that's a big step for me, and just being able to see that that's a thing that's happening is that's a very hot topic for me anyways.
Yeah, mine is pretty similar. It's all the people in the FGC who work super hard and do really awesome things that particularly, especially make it so that people like us can do this full time.
Yep.
There's so many people who work really, really hard in the FGC on so many different projects and things. Guys like Mark and Rick and Seg and all these people who are organizing events. And, you know, all the finally now developer support in the scene, all the people who
have legal framework, of course, and
legal
framework
framework,
take care of that.
People will take care of that.
Dude, there was actually an article that someone created like some esports like law firm or something.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Bryce Blum. He's been practicing in esports for some years.
Oh, okay.
I thought he already had his own practice.
Okay.
In any case, congrats to him.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a general thing of like all the people who make the FGC is what it is, and like all the different sponsors who are involved. It's kind of like a big community award. It's like basically an award for all the people who work super hard in this, because I don't think that this would have ever been possible before this year, maybe.
Right.
Like, I think this is the one year where now people, like, it's legit that more people can do it full time than ever before. And we're good examples of that.
Right.
Because I think before this year, it would have been really hard to do.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to add on to that whole thing, too, that, you know, it's happening the way that I always hoped it kind of would, and that it's all homegrown. That it's all coming within the fighting game
all
community.
those people involved.
You know, a lot of the
Brandon
people who are
and
getting
FGC.
involved are people who like fighting games, and we've been in fighting games and stuff like that. And it's because we have that passion that I feel like it's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was going to be my number 2, but it doesn't really matter order for this. So, I was going to say the same thing. That esports in the FGC is finally happening in a way that is right. Yeah, that was a weird sounding when I was.
I don't like the way that was. I like the way that was.
A little funky. Tastes fine though. It's happening the way that we wanted it to happen, which is a good point that James was just mentioning. The people who are involved in the process are mostly FGC in the important roles, from the obviously tournament organization standpoint to even the developers. That are in almost every developer, maybe every developer now, has people involved who are players. Like you got the Combo Fiends and the Keatses, and you got the Mike Z's, and you got NRS is basically full of them, and that's how they all are now.
Yeah.
And that's something that is really great. So it's like every part of the process, the stream production, merchandising, like all these things, even the big money companies like Red Bull. Like Ben Nichols was like I always thought of him as like a StarCraft dude.
Yeah.
I thought that's where he'd come from. But he was telling me actually that he was like an old school Tekken head in Atlanta.
Wow. I
had no idea he ever played Tekken, but that was like his big entry into competitive gaming. So even like the big money companies, the people involved are FGC.
I like that.
I think that's awesome. That's like
Self-pollination, man. I like
exactly
it.
what we wanted. Like it's not. I don't feel like there's some outside organization that's like, you will have esports now. It's like we're all growing up and we're getting jobs. Excuse me. We're getting like more money involved, and it's like because of us.
Right.
It's like I don't feel like there's like some external folks. It's awesome.
And I've always said like Evo made it to Mandalay Bay on its own.
Yeah.
But man, I'm the rebel here. I'm gonna be Rebel Chensor from now on, because I'm the only one that doesn't like. I didn't have that on my list, and like.
Oh, what a butt.
I'm just
I'm
a loser here.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah.
What's your number 2, Jimmy?
My number 2 is I really so obviously David talked about this, playing other games and stuff like that. The one thing that, I talk about Capcom Cup, and a lot of people are like, why is everything so Capcom centric? But what Capcom Cup has done is shown a lot of companies that this can work. And the thing that I love is KI Cup, King of the Iron Fist. SNK is trying to do their own thing. Even Arc System Works is doing the whole Arc System Works Fighting Game Awards that's coming up like this. I think it's this week or next weekend. Like there's just
DOA has its thing.
DOA has its own thing. So the fact that all these games right now have their own cups and they're all trying to do this, have their own tournament series, I think that's awesome. Even like I think it was Brawlhalla announced that they were gonna have like a tournament series just recently. And so I think that that's really, really awesome, and I hope that they can thrive. And I've always preached that it's the community's responsible to strengthen their game to the point where because a lot of people used to be like, oh, our community can't survive if we don't go into Evo, and that's I like Evo's obviously important, but you can build your community without it.
You can still, your community can't survive without it.
The Skullgirls community has been around for years because of the people in it. Even something like ST Revival, even the Vampire Savior community. The fact that it was even got to have a top 8 at Combo Breaker, that kind of thing happened because the community's supporting it, and that's one of the things that I really wanted to bring up and talk about was just how cool it is that all these other guys are making their own cups and everything like that.
Right.
This is kind of general for me, but I just didn't know how to articulate it in all honesty. And it kind of plays on a couple other things that was said. The community aspect of the fighting game community. It's been in question for quite some time, especially with all the bad stuff that happens, the bad publicity, the sexual harassment, the people just being not cordial to each other, the exclusion of people in communities, overall conduct when it comes to being involved with the community and everything actually around that. I feel like it's still on kind of like the hotbed, and I feel like that's why it's really important for all the communities to play well with each other, because as a whole, the entire community is under a spotlight. And believe it or not, like, everybody's going to get lumped in regardless of where you try to play. If you try to say, well, it was just that one KI game or that one Smash Brothers title or that one Tekken player or whatever the case may be. Thing is like we're all in the same boat at this point, and I feel like there need to be more steps taken to make sure that we all understand that we're here not only in just fighting games, but as a whole we're all here together. So it's kind of all inclusive. If we're in a community, we need to make sure our community looks good, because we're not all just mean people or looking for a best way out or trying to take advantage of somebody or trying to make somebody look bad. That's not why we're all here, and we need to make sure that people understand in the community as well as outside the community that we're a community and not just some thing that's floating around ambiguously just being like we're something. So I just feel like that's one of the things that people should
I'm totally with you. All right. And like when or if people do things that are not welcoming or hateful or harassment or whatever, it's important to speak out on that.
It's true.
Yeah,
and I think that it's been like encouraging to see that more often.
Yeah.
When there have been incidents of harassment, people just get kicked out, or incidents of like people being like absurd or hateful on Twitter. Other people will say like this is not a cool thing to do.
Right.
I feel like that's happening more often than it ever did, and that's nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Number 2 for me, pretty similar to what Jimmy Boy brought up a little earlier, which was fighting games on TV.
Okay.
Fighting games being brought more to the mainstream with different things like it being on ESPN twice this year. I think that to me, it was a really cool thing because it was one of those things where like I talk to friends or family who have never seen anything fighting game related, and they're like, oh yeah, wasn't it on like ESPN or like I heard that like there's something like that. Like people will come up to me and they're like, yeah, I heard you on ESPN. Like I was watching Street Fighter Finals and I heard your voice on ESPN. And I was like, yeah. And there's that ESPN recap video where like our commentary was featured on there because like the L.I. Joe thing was on there. And to me, the most exciting thing about it is that it's the start.
Yes.
This year was the start of it being on TV, and my hope is that next year, not only will there be more times where there's fighting game events on TV, but it'll be more games, right? It'll be other games besides just Street Fighter. So there'll be other broadcasts where like ESPN does like the top 8 or of all games at Evo, or like top 3 of all games at Evo, or something like that, right? Like the hope is that there's something like that, right? That it is just the start. If like other things pick up TV, other TV orgs, right? Not even just ESPN, because that's been one that's happened a few things. I guess by next year, I also meant this year, by the way, but
yeah, I know we're gonna be doing this for a while.
I keep getting mixed up by that.
No, we're gonna be doing this.
Yeah, the hope is that like like all these other different sports or just TV channels start picking up more fighting game stuff.
And kind of to go along with stuff that David said about like if Street Fighter V isn't good, go play other games and stuff like that. And I know I've brought this up a lot, but the fact that Street Fighter V has gotten us on TV and stuff like that, I feel like does open the door for the other games. So, rising tide raises all boats. That's just I just see it that way. People have to understand that, like you said, we're all in this together. So one of them comes up, the rest of us goes up.
I hope
with
so
it,
too.
So.
Somebody said anime will never be on ESPN. It's too lewd for TV. It was already on ESPN.
It was actually one of the big pools.
Before Street Fighter was on ESPN,
that's true.
anime was on ESPN.
Joke's on you.
Dude, and plus, the anime games aren't even remotely.
Remember when
Washige no?
Washige.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that was on ESPN.
But the other thing too is like nothing in the anime games is worse than Laura, dude. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, dude. They didn't let. What's the
Mika.
place? Yeah. Mika had to pick the secondary.
Dude, and I just love that because if Laura now, who's amazing in season 2, if she makes it on ESPN, she has no.
There's
costume.
no choice, man.
Yeah.
There's no costume for them. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep, you're stuck. Number 2.
Oh, is it me? My number 2 is New Blood doing good work, and that's the case for commentary. Nice work. That's the case for players. And I feel like that's really nice. It seemed in, I would say for a while that the people who were succeeding or doing good work had always been doing it, or like for a long time at least. And I don't feel like it was. I feel like in the last year, a lot of that new blood has like really taken its position as like we're some of the best at whatever it is now. Players like Do, who's been good for a long time, but like now he's the best, and he's like definitely he's like 20.
Yeah.
And Punk, like I mentioned, he's like all of a sudden fantastic, and John Takeuchi is a good example as well. You guys are good examples for commentary, but like Katana Prime started doing it, and he's awesome. And Ketchup and Mustard's like first commentary gig ever was, well, first major one anyway, was Fatal 8 for MK, and like now they're fantastic in like the space of like almost immediately. So I think that's really nice. It's encouraging from a community perspective to see that it's not like just the old folks like coasting and continuing to do stuff, because that doesn't lead to good things. You have to have like new folks coming in order for it to be propagated for a long time, and also in order to spur on the people who had been doing it for a long time. So like I never thought about or cared about ads at all as a commentator. I literally went a year without doing any of them because I let James do it. Maybe it was longer than a year. It was like a long time.
The ads would just come up and then David would just go
stop
silent.
talking.
He'd just
like,
be go silent.
I literally stopped talking.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whatever. I never even thought about it. And then you made me think about it. And I appreciate that, because like I would have just kept on like being like, whatever, James can do it, or whoever. But that's good. It's like an important thing to have. So nice work, everybody.
All right.
Okay. I keep seeing people joke about Laura and ESPN costumes, and I'm like, what if Capcom actually put a second code that secretly gave her more clothes, like that they would just reveal if you...
That's not going to sell enough costumes, James. They would never allow it.
How much are the costumes again? They're like $3-4 or something like that?
I have no
dude,
idea.
fight money, dude. They're just fight money.
I've never bought one.
I haven't either.
Alright.
I'm running on
I see
default
it.
color ones and
Yeah, I
and
know,
Bison
right?
or whatever else. Like,
Yeah.
Well, my number one pick, obviously, is a story that really needs to be brought up, but my number one random selected award goes to L.I. Dad. Because that guy is just awesome, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, I've heard a lot of, like, Joe's told me, like, he's tweeted about it, I've talked to him about it, but his dad was also, like, this great musician. He played at, like, the wedding of, like, I forgot, it was, like, Robert Downey Jr. or something like that.
Oh,
It was, like,
wow.
some,
Whoa.
like, famous people, he would, like, do their weddings and stuff like that, but, like, the fact that he came out there and created this crazy story, flew out there when he heard Joe made it out there, and to see him
like
support...
overnight, like he was like, yeah, I'm buying a ticket right now.
Yeah,
It
he
wasn't
saw it,
planned.
was like, I'm just going to Mandalay Bay. And he
Yeah.
made it out there. And, you know, his dad, who is a musician, you know, is largely, you know, very supportive of Joe. And he, you know, is one of those people that's like, live out your dream, do what you want to do kind of thing like that. And that support has allowed Joe to do this, and then to see that, he put his, he meant it. The fact that Joe made it to top 8 and he flew all the way out there.
Yeah.
I just think that's super cool. That story was awesome, amazing, and shout outs to L.I. Joe's dad. So he is
Yeah, that's
the
awesome.
coolest, cool guy. So
For sure.
All right, my number one is just the events overall. Any fighting game event that we went to, being under heavy scrutiny for the way it's being ran on a timely fashion when it comes to seeds, players getting to warm up, the friendlies, everything about that. I think it's crazy. It's not crazy, but I like the fact that it's kind of stepped into the light that these events have they do kind of have a service that needs to always be rendered to those people who come pay to play or just tune in to listen. So when you have issues like, internet or random frame drops or whatever the case may be, that it should be addressed. Just about the overall organization of how events are being run and who's running them. The fact that people definitely do pay attention does not mean you need to jump out the window insulting an event, because that's just not called for. There's a lot of people that go out of their way to say, well, that event sucked because of XYZ, and I'm not going to go because my game aren't there, and I don't like that guy, and they don't let me warm up in the back, and I don't have a special store. Nobody cares about any of that. I think the most important part of everything that's happened concerning the way a tournament is ran this year, and it should be going forward into the future, is all about improvement. It is definitely about what you say and how you say it as well. Like, those things all play a major part. I just think that I like how vocal people are, but I feel like it can be done a little more tactfully from
constructively. Right?
there you go, like from every
Right.
situation. If you're in a TO running another event or talking about another TO's event, I feel like we still haven't gotten to the point where we're being a little more political about it. I just think that that's a thing that should come from the players, attendees, as well as the TOs. That's something.
Random Select Award, number one winner to me. It's kind of an interesting one. I'm surprised he hasn't got brought up yet. Core Gaming.
Oh.
That is my
yeah.
Random Select winner of the year. Core Gaming. So, if you don't know that, I started... The big thing that was big for me when I got into fighting games was content. I felt like not enough people were doing good content, right? That was like an issue I felt like. And I think that his content is fantastic.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
some of the best content in the FGC, and the thing I like the most about it is that it's something that's really easy to show people who don't play fighting games. He did that video where he broke down how frame data works, and he used all these real world examples, and it was really, really awesome. And these kind of videos, I'm just browsing Reddit, and in the game subreddit, that video is there, and it has hella upvotes and tons of people commenting and talking about fighting games and stuff like that. He had the Shaq Fu video that was super entertaining.
Dude, the baseball swing analogy.
The baseball
to
swing
startup,
frame data.
Active and recovery
For sure.
was
Right.
genius.
For sure.
Yeah, his videos are absolutely amazing. I think he does such fantastic work. We got to briefly chat with him at Evo, and to me, if anybody deserves a shout out for some of the awesome content they do that already doesn't get it, because there's tons of awesome content creators in fighting games, but I feel like Core Gaming is not talked about enough. So to me, I wanted to give this award, my Random Select Award to him, because his videos are fantastic. I really hope that he keeps making them in 2017. I know he mentioned that he has some stuff Infiltration, I guess, did an interview with him. He said that's coming out soon. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Gerald does super awesome work.
Gerald Lee, a.k.a. Core A Game.
Yeah, if you haven't seen his videos, I literally spent the night. I hadn't seen his videos before, and I saw one of them. And I watched, every video he's ever put out. And I was like, this channel is amazing. I couldn't believe how good his videos are. They're super, super high quality, well done videos. Not only just for a fighting game audience, but for an audience that, doesn't know fighting games that well, to get him in. I could show my dad the frame data video, and suddenly he'll be like, now I get frame data. It just makes sense to me, right? So, yeah.
Someone actually mentioned here that, about Captain Mama actually mentioned Javits. I feel like we should mention Javits, too, because that guy is...
Lab Monsters.
I totally should have put him in my FGC members.
Yeah, maybe he's the new blood of Lab Monsters. He's been playing fighting games, in Street Fighter 4. When I was getting Street Fighter 4 in, 2009... I went to New York, and he was the one who showed me around. So he's not some new dude. But in terms of the level of tech, it was in Ultra SF4 that he was now I am ridiculous. He was.
And Street Fighter.
Also, he was the best at it.
Dude, you saw that he made up those optimal punishes on EX uppercuts. in Street Fighter 5, and now everybody does it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody does those videos where you see Akuma EX uppercut, hit a button under
Right,
it,
right.
and then do some big damage.
And
that was
he
all
made
him.
that, he
dude,
made
so.
that Laura defense primer.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Which is actually really good. Just as well as just like making and uploading numerous clips just to show like miscellaneous things, punishment wise and understanding wise in Street Fighter 5. I just think he does an amazing job of doing
ZXC
it.
just even mentions that PR Rog, like all of his Balrog tech from 4 came from Javits.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jibbo's another important one.
Yeah, Jibbo does awesome stuff.
Yeah, Jibbo's been great forever.
Yeah.
I'm super biased because he posts sick Urian tech.
He does. He
It's
does.
all stolen.
Although how can you not have sick Urian tech? Because that's a pretty strong character.
Yeah.
That character's good, man.
Dang, they did some weird things with him. All right, is it my turn?
Yes.
Number
All right,
one.
my number one is this community support for old games. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's been something that's been developing, like with Tournament of Legends and ST. What was that? 2012 or something?
Yeah.
2013,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's not like brand new, but I feel like it's so strong now that you bring over players specifically for old games. Like Boss has been over in the States for CBS2 a couple
Just
of
went
times.
to NEC.
Was just at NEC. Players for ST like
Canada,
Kusumondo and Matsun,
yeah.
but also other times. Third Strike is getting tournaments again at lots of majors. That is super cool. It's so important, I think, to continue to play games that you like. And if the game that you like is a game that came out in 1998 or 1994, so be it. Yeah, that was literally before. It's crazy. But yeah, even in ST, some of the very strong players in the US now are relatively young. Players who are in like early 20s are some of the best players in the States. So that's something that is really nice, and I hope that more game communities do that. Like if somebody really likes, one of the old Guilty Gears or like one of the old Tekkens or whatever it is, like play the games that matter to you. You don't have to give them up.
And the coolest thing about it too is like even with something like ST, some of the best players in the country now are all younger people who have just picked it up recently. Even like Vampire Saver, Mr. Igloo, he's also really good at Super Turbo right now from SoCal. You know, these are people who didn't grow up with these games.
Right.
They went back and they're super good at it. So that's really cool that even new blood is learning these games.
Yeah, it's something that I hope continues to develop. And in some far off future, Street Fighter V will be an old person's game, and I hope that there will be new people playing it. You know, I mean, I hope that sort of cycle continues for all the games.
Maybe not Street Fighter 5.
I would like to see it continue.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great if there's like some Ultra Street Fighter 4 crew.
Hey,
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't want to play it, but like there certainly are many people who want to play it,
Yeah.
and they should be able to if they care about
Yeah,
it.
and I really hope like MVC2 keeps this momentum
yeah.
getting a little bit.
Yeah, Marvel 2.
Did
That's
you-
right. Yeah, Justin versus Yipes. just
Yeah,
happened,
but dude,
right?
did you
That
see
was-
Justin
yeah.
played in the Philippines against a bunch of people there because they still
No.
have a big MVC2
Okay.
scene, except they play on 1 damage. They
What?
actually changed their rules, so that community plays on 1 damage. So Justin actually money matched their best player on
Okay.
their settings, and I think it was like 4-4, and Justin won like the last game or
That
something
he must
like
be
that.
super different on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not taking
Like
any
different
damage.
characters must be good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for Justin to have that close of a set, like, yeah, that's crazy.
I hope someone has like the
Interesting.
footage out there because I really
Yeah, I
want to
watched
watch
it.
that.
I watched it.
Oh, you
It's
did?
It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
okay,
can't
okay.
believe they play. Like the match takes a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
That's
wild.
funny.
One damage
funny.
Marvel 2.
Yeah,
That's
like
great.
I guess Melee is the is the biggest profile like old
Oh,
game,
yeah, of
right?
course, of
That
course.
game is 15 years old and it's one of the biggest fighting games in the world still. So
Okay.
that's unusual. But even if you like a game that not many people play, you can definitely find a scene for it and build a scene for it. Other people have. It'd be nice to see more people do it.
Well, the last category we have is our own personal fighting game community resolutions for 2017. Oops, gotta write that down here. Do you want I can just rattle off all 3. You can do all 3 and stuff like that. We don't have to do one by one unless you still want to do
That's
one
fine.
by one.
Whatever.
What do you think? Is it?
Either way is fine. I don't care.
Okay. Well, my personal resolution, I'll just do them all then.
You got
pretty
it.
much. So the third one is really, so last year I said one of my things I wanted to do was learn more games. Obviously, I was working for the first half of that and it just never happened. I don't have any excuse this time, so this year I really do want to learn as many games as I can at this point. I have a lot more time, and I'll stream myself doing it, right?
There you go.
But the number 2 one kind of goes with that, is that I just really want to get better at Guilty Gear because I'm mad that I'm so terrible at that game right now.
Yeah.
So
It's okay.
I
You
just
can
need
play
to
online with me.
I need to
anytime
play.
I'm in
I need to play that
around.
game more. But see, I need to play against people who aren't just gonna beat me down for like.
Yo,
3
that's how
hours,
you
like,
learn,
That's
dude.
how you
like
learn.
freaking Coogie, dude. Look, I'm telling you, man.
I'm with you.
Everybody,
I mean, you.
everybody learns differently. That's
Yeah,
not
of
how
course,
I
yeah.
learn.
Oh, okay.
I do not learn
Okay,
that
all right.
way.
Sounds
I
made
do
up.
not learn that way. So, like I said, the best games I've ever been are the ones where I blow up my friends who aren't as good at me for a very long time. So, I actually learn better when I get to experience the flow and come up with things and try things. And when
I don't know how that's possible.
Maybe it's just you're beating a bunch of players.
What if the flow that you guys are playing is totally not how the game is really played?
But see, that's the thing is, I'm actually at the point where I like to experiment. So even when I played CVS1 and CVS2 with my friends all the time, I was able to experiment and try things. Like when I played Coogie and Guilty Gear recently, this was my entire game. And then I died. And I was like, well, I never learned anything about my character. You know, that I can't learn that way. That's not how I learn.
I understand.
So I need to learn a different way. So I agree, though, that playing people better than you and getting beat down is the right way to learn for a lot of people.
For me, it definitely is.
Right,
Yep.
but it is not how I learn.
will take
it does
every
not work
L
for me that
associated
way.
with
You gotta have those explanatory beatdowns, man. That's so important for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, see,
me
that's
too.
the thing is, I like to get to that point after I learn a lot about the game.
Okay.
But see, when I play the game and the first thing I do is I can't move, then I'm like, what's the point?
Well, yeah, it's not like your first day
Well,
playing
okay,
the
so,
game,
like, the
though.
first
But that
time-
literally was me playing against Cookie.
You played Guilty Gear before that.
Yeah, but not Revelator, not Exert at all.
In like week 1 when I
So-
first started to play Blaze Blue, again I didn't play in between the first one and like whatever one I played. Now I forget what the name was.
That's so
I
many,
guess.
man.
Don't
Don't be
seriously.
ashamed. It's okay.
Anyway,
Right.
I went over to the house and I played against Sanchez, and he probably, or maybe that was elsewhere. Anyway, I played against Sanchez and he beat me probably 50 times in a row, something like that. His bullet versus my Tager. And I just got like wrecked. But
Bullet was stupid. I know exactly. Yeah, Bullet was dumb then, so it's okay.
well, I don't even think that was the case. It was just like I didn't know my options.
Right.
But like through the time of it, like I definitely noticed improvement. I was still losing, but I was like improving. Okay, here are my defensive options. I got it. Like which button should I press? Okay, probably not stand D right there. Like got it. Like things like that.
So
And by the end of it, I when I was like driving home after that, I was like, oh, I got
You guys
dunked
are
here
idiots.
for this reason, and I sort of like figured it out. And the next time I played him,
Right.
I lost, but it wasn't anywhere as bad. It was like
Right.
much closer. And
Yeah,
anyway,
so-
for me,
so
that's how I learned.
For me, I mean, the reason why I learned that way, honestly, is because I'm a muscle memory person. Like, I need repetition and to be able to do stuff. So, I'm not the kind of person that can be like, oh, I'm coming up with this solution. How do I defeat this? I need to sit down and go practice it. You know what I mean? And so, when I play against people that I can beat up, I can practice those things. I build the muscle memory. I build the muscle memory for this mix-up. I remember that this is an option to do and stuff like that. When I don't get to play that, I can't build it into my hands. I have this really bad problem. So like even people watching me stream, like people with uppercuts and I can't, and I'm cammy, and I walk up to crush counter them with fierce. Like I don't know why I can't get my hand to hit roundhouse. You know what I mean? It's like a weird problem with my brain that I get stuck on things.
I think it is a muscle memory thing. You're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
knowing,
yeah,
actually getting that into your system is
Right,
hard.
and that's what I need. I need to have the ability to get that into my system by playing and succeeding and feeling it work. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I've always learned to play fighting games. So, but yeah. But my number one resolution is just to stream more. Just stream as much as I humanly can. So, I'll be doing that a lot this year. I will be streaming a lot on UltraChen TV.
All right.
So
What do you got, Stevie?
My three was a one to stream more because I feel like
That's gonna be
everybody
all.
else, everybody else, like especially like this
I'm
guy,
streaming.
like I've
Streaming
actually
list.
been doing a lot of research though, like because I see other people stream and I'm just like, man, I focus way too hard when I play, so I have to look at it a little differently, which is one of the reasons I've been holding off on streaming. But I will be streaming more this year.
Excuses.
Better tourney results. As much as I love to commentate, I still like to enter,
Oh, yeah.
and I like to play a lot of games. So it's actually pretty. It's really hard to stay playing wise up on games while commentating as well.
For
I
sure.
was only able to do it competently to my effect in 2 games, even though I played 3. I played Street Fighter, and I did pretty good in Street Fighter, but I could definitely do a lot better. Guilty Gear, I could do better in that game.
Top-tier Nash.
Yeah. And
like
then
Nash and Mika, like, oh my god. Yeah. That's what Knuckle Dude played for like 80% of the year.
Yeah, anyways, so,
Wow.
but yeah, that and like just the 3 games that I play, I do want to do better in them. And to be better at commentary by knowing even more. Because I definitely have a bunch of gaps that I need to fill in. I'm working on them right now. But the thing is like I'm more actively pursuing making sure that those are important and something that I focus on in gameplay. So those are my 3.
Okay.
All right, my 3. Third, to not stream more because I'm already streaming quite a bit.
Right.
And so like I mentioned this earlier, but I got into FGC through content creation. I have a YouTube channel that's like probably in still like the top 5 biggest YouTube channels for fighting games. I'm at like 20K subs on YouTube, and like I never upload to it anymore.
Right.
So my big resolution is to take a lot of the footage that I'm doing on there and put it on
Yeah, I was
YouTube.
just gonna say,
A lot of my Twitch footage.
Why aren't
So-
you put? Why? I mean, I thought you were doing that already.
No, I haven't been out doing that stuff, and so I'm gonna kind of copy what other people have been doing by having someone help me out with my YouTube, and cut a lot of the stuff I'm doing on there and post it on there, and that goes along with, and so like my YouTube is being used again, right? So like there's also a talk show kind of thing where I just sit down and talk about a topic that I also want to do on my YouTube. So I'll do those on Twitch and then cut them over and put them on YouTube. So yeah, that's one of the big ones that I want is to use my YouTube more. And just utilize it. I mean, there's two people that I'm talking to right now about helping me with my YouTube.
Okay.
And so yeah, they're gonna help me with it. And I don't want to necessarily do the YouTube to make money because obviously my YouTube account still makes money. But yeah, like I want to have more content on there.
Okay.
In that, and so that kind of leads into my second resolution, which is to help more people be able to make money through fighting games and do fighting games full time.
Okay.
Because this year there was a lot of people that helped us out, and so now in 2016, Steve and I did it full time for basically the whole year. Right, this is our job and how we our sole source of income was doing fighting game events, streaming, going to all those different things. Right, so. Part of that YouTube thing was paying the person who's doing my YouTube.
Right.
So creating a job by helping that.
Okay,
So
got it,
I won't be making money off my YouTube channel, but I'll be helping someone else be able to do this full time. Because in other stuff like that, right? Obviously, there's tons of people who make money through being like YouTube editors for like League of Legends players, or like stuff like that, right? So I'll lose a little bit of money there, but I'll have more content on my YouTube, and I'll have just more of that in general, right? I'll have the Twitch footage cut over to there, so there'll be more stuff like that. I'm gonna reach out and talk to all the replay channels, and make sure that I can post their footage for match analysis that I do and stuff like that. He's just blowing his nose in there.
I know.
Yeah, so the that's one of my big resolutions is to make it so that more people who want to be involved in fighting games can get paid doing it. And there's just more people that can do it full time, but also just can make any kind of money, right? Like side money. And my primary resolution, the big one, is something that David mentioned earlier, but help support my generation of fighting game commentators, players, streamers, editors, all the young generation that are interested in getting into fighting games and doing it more. And so that's one big thing that I want to help out, because obviously this is a good year for my generation, like
Right.
Obviously had an awesome year. Sonic Fox is super young. Punk, John Takuchi. There's tons of people who have had a good year who are super young in fighting games. But the big thing I want to do is help create more opportunities for them in terms of getting better sponsor deals.
Right.
Having more chances to compete at events, putting them, in the limelight as much as I can, helping them out, like if they need help with streams or if there's something I can do to like promote them, like if they're streaming, I can host their channels and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
Anything I can do to help my generation be better at having a chance to do fighting games full time or make money out of it if they like to do that.
Okay.
So those are my big resolutions, is to help more people in fighting games do what I do if they'd like to, and try to spread the wealth a little bit.
Okay.
Cool. By the way, did you imply that you weren't part of the younger generation?
No,
I said my
part of
generation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Said,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 22 for
you were too
somebody
busy
else.
like hacking up along
Well,
with
don't be
that.
too concerned with what goes on in the bathroom right now, James.
Yeah.
All right, everything's fine.
Good times.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, so those are the big ones for me.
Okay.
My three. My first one is to stream more and regularly, and to get back to making some of the stuff that I used to make. Like I haven't done a level 3 focus in probably like a year and a half, and I'd like to do that more. And it's like not that onerous to do. I don't know why I haven't been doing it in the first place. I've just been lazy, I guess. But yeah, that's something that I want to get more of.
You have a day job.
I do have a day job, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's going to figure in coming up. But I can definitely fit both, and that's not always easy. But it like requires that I just like wake up earlier, which is not that hard. It's like not that bad.
That's really hard.
It's
I don't know
really
what
hard.
y'all do.
It is.
It's
it is.
really
Okay,
hard,
Fine.
dude.
Fine, it is.
Dude,
but
we
it's
were
something
talking.
to do.
We had a conversation one time about that weird state when you wake up and like everything that you do is like really crafty on how you can get more sleep.
Dude, yep.
Like even the night before, you're like, no, I'm waking up at 10, and then your alarm rings at 10, and somehow your brain justifies, nope, gonna snooze. It's okay.
Dude, this happened like the other week. I had set my alarm for 8, which is normally when I set it. I typically don't actually wake up then, but I set it for that, and my girlfriend was like, hey, your alarm went off. Like, shouldn't you wake up? Like, shouldn't you get up? And I was like, no, I'm taking it as a weekend day, right? Because I work for myself, so I can take any day as my weekend day, right? And so I told her, no, I'm going to take it as a weekend. And I thought to myself, genius. You just explain it away. Everything's going to be great. Go back to sleep. And then, then when I finally got up, like 2 hours later, I was like, that wasn't a good explanation at all. Like I wasn't like,
right.
It didn't matter that I explained it to her.
Yeah,
That
because
cares?
it was
I have
completely
obligations that I have to meet.
counterproductive to what
Like,
you
I
needed
have
to do.
these things, you know what I mean? But like it was like so genius that I was like, I got
Yeah,
my girlfriend off my case. Like,
Yeah, but
Got her.
Yeah.
She's gonna
Like,
go do stuff around the house while I
Yeah,
continue
she's
to
gonna go
sleep.
do her own
like,
thing.
Great idea.
She saw you were working and was like, "What? Isn't this supposed to be a day out?"
Yeah. So later she saw me doing stuff and she was like, I thought this was supposed to be a weekend or a weekend day. And I said, no, that was sleep, David. He was just
No,
being
no,
an idiot.
you weren't talking to me regular, David.
That
was sleep, David.
guy was an idiot this morning. I don't know what he was thinking.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I do want to fit that in more, and I think what I'd like to do is have it be kind of early in the morning. So like I stream sometimes when I'm like looking over. Or I should say I play video games a lot when I'm like in the morning doing emails, right?
Yeah.
And like that's like a stupid slow process. It requires that I wait for people to get back to me, and I'm not doing crap in the meantime, so I'm playing games. So I could totally make that a stream time. So anyway, that's something that I'm gonna do. And then the second one is to put more of my legal focus on the FGC. It's not that much right now, just because historically there hasn't been like much money in the FGC. So as like a job, it like wasn't that important. And so I've concentrated on other like esports titles or do whatever game development, publishing, whatever else it is that I do. But I would really like to do that more often to help out players. It's something that I've been doing a lot of lately, and I really want to help that. There's like a lot of really good deals that are coming to players in the FGC. There's like some really nice ones coming out, and it's really great to like help them negotiate better deals and stuff. So I think that's great. I'm really excited for that, and I want to make that something that I do more often. So like putting mixing the two a little bit more. Law and FGC. And then the last one is to play less Street Fighter V and more other games. I really like Street Fighter V, but I've been focusing on it almost to the exclusion of everything else. And I haven't played like MK, for example, in probably like a couple of months.
Have you played even the most recent patch at all?
Yeah, I definitely played it a lot when it first came out, but in the last couple of months I have not. And that's stupid because I really enjoy playing it. You know, like I don't know why I wouldn't play it. But I haven't been. Again, I think it's because of like inertia. Like I played Street Fighter 4 and whatever, so still playing 5. But yeah, I want to, especially once Tekken comes out, and when the second season of Killer Instinct comes out, I really want to try getting more into that as well. I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be really cool. And this is not just a gameplay thing either. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to like the money side of this, to like the career side of this. So if you're only doing commentary for one game, that game ends up sucking and nobody plays it or watches it, then nobody asks you to commentate anymore.
Ah, the Tasty Jam strategy, huh?
Well, I mean, that's what I had done for a long time, but there just like wasn't money in commentary, so who cares if I'm commentating 5 games at an event in like 2011? Like, didn't matter, right? But now it does, so that's something that I have to concentrate on more.
As well as your health, because
Yeah.
I'm really glad
Apple
that this
cores.
is a small room and we have the door closed and like
It's quite warm.
there's
in here.
no window or anything
There's
like
no
that.
wind either,
So,
that's for sure.
So we're all doomed. We're all doomed.
I got a pretty strong immune system. I don't know, man.
I got bad news for you, Steve. I get sick maybe once or twice a year, and when I do, it's for a day.
Damn.
And I've been sick for about 5 or 6 days now with this baby.
Ditto.
So,
I'm one of those
so
sick
it's
ones a year.
it's
Well-
a strong variant, whatever it is, man.
Okay, I'm done then. So
Yeah. I've been trying to stay away from you guys, but
Could have Skyped in
we'll see
tonight.
if that works. It was a big night. It was a big night.
God.
okay, that was like an old man cough right there.
That
That was
was,
straight up like.
That was spleen breaking and coughing right there, man.
If this is what David is like without apple cores, I think you should
The
probably
lesser
have
of
some
the two
apple
evils.
cores.
You need to start get back on these apple cores, man.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Man, that emoticon is funny.
Okay,
The next time I'm going to is KIT, which is this weekend.
that's right.
Hey, guess what? I'm like 99% sure I'll be at KIT now.
I will also 100% be at KIT.
Yay!
We
KIT.
talked-
Be staying at home.
We
Wow.
talked about developer support. Shout outs to Microsoft. Be going out there to commentate some Killer Instinct. So yeah, Brandon, Microsoft, good work to you guys. I'm pretty sure I'll be at KIT, although it's not 100%, but it's looking like a 90, maybe a 95.
Sage is definitely doing down back charge.
Yeah. If you
Your Fortress of Couch
flash
Honda
kick,
over there.
it's coming out.
You're ST Honda right now.
I'm down back
You got,
like a
you got
son
the
of a
half
gun.
circle back charged already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn! Somebody asked me about the jacket. Yo, I actually wore that jacket when I went back to St. Louis. People were trying to buy it off my back.
Are you serious?
Which one?
The one I got from Japan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the $300 jacket.
Nice.
So what I'm probably gonna do?
I call that this could have been a computer jacket.
Oh Jesus! So what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
My first stream of
But
the
his
year.
mama told him that.
My
he
mom
should've
told
bought
me.
the
You think I'm gonna
jacket,
I'm gonna
right?
listen to you guys over my mom?
No.
Yeah, I
She
don't.
definitely texted me and was like, "Steve, if you don't bring that jacket back," I was like, "You know what, Mom? You're
Dude,
right."
as soon as that
Does your-
happens, you gotta do. That's it. That's the
Does
end
your-
of discussion.
Does
So-
your mom support your
good
commentary
validation.
career?
Yeah.
Well, you know that streaming on Twitch is part of that, right? And
Um,
having a computer
so
to
look-
do so is very valuable.
Yeah.
In fact,
Which one is more important for getting views? Do you think having a jacket or
But
having
I'll get
the
the
ability
views.
to
And, like, the
use
crazy-
I'll get the views when I look sick as hell in my jacket.
The crazy
you can't,
thing-
if there's no stream to stream it on.
If I stream it, will you guys look at it so I can get these guys off my ass? No, I'm just
the crazy thing too is that, like, you know, if you stream, you make money, and then you could buy more $300 jackets.
Yo, okay, look, I'm gonna tell you
You're
now.
only 800 hours of streaming away.
Look,
Yeah.
look. My first stream will be at least one review of Japan. And these two guys already did it. But that's going to be the Steve take on the Japan trips. So that's going to be one of my introductory streams of, the tasty variety.
Yeah. The 3 resolutions to stream more.
It'll happen. I promise.
Can't wait for 2017. Where
Thanks
I'm-
for subscribing, DVR from Gamer Geek Nation.
Shout out
Hey.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to all that. I saw a lot of Sajam animes in the chat. You guys are the best. I'll be streaming tomorrow.
I need to get me some cool stuff too, man.
Yeah, I already created one cool thing for you, right? So.
This is true. No, I'm telling you, man. This year, these Steve streams are about to be lit. I'm trying to tell you guys. It's going to be good.
And you have to wear the jacket on stream.
I'm going to show off the jacket, but I feel like it's a lot that goes into preparation for me to wear the jacket. So, I don't know if I'll show the outfit maybe.
What kind of preparation do you need?
I don't know, dude. I got to take a milk bath with rose petals. The room has to be scented. There has to be Kenny G playing. On top of that, I need a lot of hot oils. I'm a hot oil kind of guy.
Okay.
I got really dry skin.
Look at those
stuff of that
Sajam
nature.
animes, dude.
Do you think like would you not be able to slide it on without all the oil, or like, what's
no,
the
it's
deal?
not
You
that.
need-
It's not that.
Need the
It's just
lubrication to make it.
one
You're gonna buy a
day,
$300
one-
jacket, you need that much preparation?
Right,
I'm
yeah, it
just
costs an
saying.
extra $100 to put the jacket on
I'm
every
just saying,
time.
and I found out the jacket was reversible, so that's another added layer of coolness to. I'm just saying. Wait till you guys will see it on my stream, man. You watch.
Okay. Sounds good.
Jacket's amazing. You won't see any of
Reversible
these
stuff's
nerds
great 'cause
wearing it.
You don't have
'cause
to.
it's too cool.
You don't have to wash them as often. You just flip it inside out, right?
That's why this guy can't buy a cool jacket right here.
That's why he's sick, actually.
I can't just keep wearing these socks and clothes over and over
think that's
and
why I'm
eat
rarely
apple
sick.
cores.
I think I'm rarely sick because I've inoculated myself by doing terrible health choices for so long.
That should be your resolution, bro.
One time in college, I was so gross that mold ended up growing in the walls.
Oh, come on,
And,
dude.
And I was sick for probably the last. My roommate and I both had persistent coughs for like the last 2 months we lived there because there's definitely mold in the walls.
I'm guessing you didn't get your deposit back at all, did
I don't
you?
think we got the deposit back.
That's
Yeah.
gross, B.
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of
That
here.
was a particular time in my life.
Can we
I
just
don't
get
do
the
that
hell
Like
out of
anymore.
last week or something? Jesus, okay.
I'm not gross anymore
Okay.
in comparison.
Dang, look at those ebony ivories. I'm
Dude,
about
the
it.
arms are everywhere, dude.
Yeah. Shout outs to all the Sage Jam enemies I saw tonight. You guys are great. See you tomorrow. I slept for 12 hours last night. It was crazy. I don't know
Dude,
what
my
happened to me.
sleep schedule is like
Oh,
destroyed.
dude, my sleep
It
schedule
is.
garbage.
It is actually like in shambles.
Mine's not bad. It's just like, I don't know why I slept for so long. It was weird. Hey, that pop-off is pretty great.
Yo, that pop off is
Yeah,
godlike.
we'll try to. Well, actually, because you guys want to tell the Japan stories on your own stream, you've already done it.
I mean, we could talk about it on here, just not tonight. It's,
Okay. Yeah, because it's
David's
it's
sick,
late.
I don't wanna do
Yeah,
that
we need to
anymore.
go. We need to go. So
Yeah, I'm hungry.
we've been here for 3 hours. So okay. Thanks everyone. I guess for tuning in. You'll probably stream tomorrow. I'm not sure if I will stream tomorrow because I've got to edit all the stuff to put it on YouTube.
Mhm.
So.
I'm gonna try to move stuff.
Dude,
to
I
my
have
new
8
apartment
hours
tomorrow.
of footage from yesterday to put on YouTube
Jesus,
right now.
man.
So I need to.
I'm gonna
take
be
care of
sleep
that.
those 8
I'm
hours.
gonna be taking care of that. So you can watch 8 hours of James getting salty. So there you go. Okay, so that was 2016 again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, lots of cool stuff coming up for 2017.
Sure.
But we definitely need to get David some rest. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and appreciate everybody subscribing to Ultra Chen TV. Again, don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime, you can hook up your Twitch Prime to Amazon Prime, and then you can renew a subscription every month. You get a free
Yeah.
subscription every month
What?
with the Amazon Prime. Yeah, so if you have that and you feel like using it on Ultra Chen TV or on Sajam's channel or on Tasty Steve's channel.
He doesn't have a button.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
that? I do have a button.
You have
You
a
do
button.
now?
You should
I
have,
have
a
a
button,
button.
right?
Since
So-
when?
I don't think I have a button. Do I have a button?
Since
Did you finally
you
fill out the
probably didn't
paperwork?
fill out all
Filled
that
out.
stuff. Like
I don't
I have a
think I
button on
did. You have any
jchensor, but
emoticons?
I just use
Nope.
Ultra Chen TV.
I'm gonna get on that emoticon thing.
And I'm even gonna try to probably this Friday. I'm probably gonna try to stream some Metal Gear
Professional
5
streamer
too,
guy
as well,
over
so-
here.
Cause I just
not that
started it
hard.
recently.
Oh,
I
yeah?
just started it, so yeah.
Good shit.
And honestly, my favorite thing in the game right now is Bionic Arm. Like
Yeah.
I Bionic Arm everybody. I Bionic Arm the sheep.
Yeah, you
I
got
chase
to.
the sheep and I Bionic
I
Arm
Arm
the
them,
sheep.
and then you can Fulton them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
it's
I
pretty
just
sick.
rolled a
pretty
new
nice.
dwarf paladin from level 1, and
What?
I'm gonna work that guy all the way up to the 110. Believe it.
Good luck.
Believe it.
All right,
All
guys.
sorts of heirlooms will be fine. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Peace
We'll see you
out,
next
everybody.
Tuesday.
They couldn't see that hand.